The only place we like to see you, other than this magical lawn, and back on Sunday and for several more events, is at levittpavilion.com. And remember, if you go to levittpavilion.com right now, and you go to the show page for tonight's show, there is a link on that page that will take you, and you can make a donation right now online to Westport Volunteer EMS, and we hope that you will. Now then, I am so proud to introduce this person to the stage. We have known him for a long time. As many of you know, Joey B is a local hero and has been lighting up the Levitt Pavilion lawn for many years. As you can imagine, his brother is equally special, and he is the president of Westport Volunteer EMS. Please welcome to the stage, Jaime Bairaktaris.
I think my brother is here tonight. I hope he heard all of that. I was mentioned, so I was happy about that. Hi everyone, my name is Jaime Bairaktaris. I'm the president of Westport Volunteer EMS. I'm also a Westporter, right? Grew up in Reading. I work at the middle school there, which would lead you to believe that I'm used to terrifying situations, but this is pretty terrifying, and I think I'm more nervous up here than I would be on the side of 95 at an accident or pretty much anything else. But I think there's an importance in an event like this because it's what helps us get to those accidents or your homes or the schools or businesses or the beaches in our community. So I want to thank Carly and the entire Levitt team for being a champion for our organization and the community that we serve and for all of you. And it's not just through events like this, but it's right down to just being a good neighbor. Our building is just through the trees there, and in June I planned an event and I forgot about tables, because who would think about tables? And Carly said, please take whatever you need, and I did. So she saved us then, and I think that's kind of the benefit of being in what I would consider a small town. I also want to thank Bob and every member of the D.N.R band for their constant support of our mission and this concert each year. It's become a cornerstone of our calendar, and it's a way for us to meet our community when there isn't an emergency. Our community has a lot of variety. It has different events, businesses, neighborhoods, different people, different levels of anger as we sit in traffic, but we all share a different but similar rhythm, and it's a beat that connects all of us together as a community. And I kind of realized this a few Sunday mornings ago when I sat at Gold's Deli, and the rhythm for me that morning was the deli slicer behind me as it went back and forth, and later that week it was the waves over at the beach at Campo, and then again as I sat behind a school bus last Wednesday morning as its red lights went back and forth. And occasionally, sometimes that rhythm is disrupted. And traffic will stop your commute, that bus will idle as the poor kid sprints from their steps, or may it never happen, Gold's runs out of pastrami. I want you to think about the rhythms of your own life, the heartbeat of your days and the weeks that pushes you along during the hard moments and the best ones, and it's a tempo that we all seemingly march to. And now I want you to think about when it stops. Who do you turn to? How can you fix it? I want to thank everyone for coming tonight to support Westport Volunteer Emergency Medical Service, because I am so proud of the passion and dedication that our team embodies as they respond to a person's worst moments, to a time when the rhythm may actually stop. From high school freshmen to teachers to business executives to proud grandparents, our volunteers are just as dynamic as the community that we're serving. However, when the tones go off, when the rhythm for one of our community members is disrupted, we don the same uniform and we head off to help them as a team and as a family. Tonight, your donations will support our tradition of volunteers answering the call in the Westport community. We don't have 50 years, we have 45 years, but we're getting there. With over 2,000 responses annually to scenes of stubbed toes and newborns who have sneezed, because who would think a newborn could sneeze, right down to cardiac arrest and the car accidents, Westport EMS keeps that beat alive. And we proudly pay for the ambulances and the fly cars that we drive, the training that keeps us sharp, and right down to the Band-Aids that we use, all while our volunteers collectively donate thousands of hours annually to help staff those ambulances in case others need help. So I want you to think about the rhythm of our lives. How can you be the person that someone turns to in their time of need? How do you keep it going? How do you keep that beat alive? So I'm asking not only for your money, although we do want your money, but also to join us on shift or in a classroom at some point in the future to pick up some of these life-saving skills. We have EMT classes that start several times a year. Some of our students are actually here tonight. And if you want to get onto the ambulance, that's the way to do it. But we also have CPR and first aid classes, so you can help anyone who's around you. And I think anyone who has any interaction with any other human being on a regular basis should be trained in both of those. But tonight our rhythm is going to be set by D.N.R, and it's going to be amplified by these speakers that surround me. And it's not going to stop tonight. The party is going to continue for us next Saturday at an event called Band-Aid at Cedar Point Yacht Club, where we have more live music, food and drinks, and it's going to help us punctuate summer of 2024 while fundraising for the organization. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, concerns, good stories, bad stories maybe, see any of our members in uniform, they're pretty easy to spot. Thank you for helping keep the beat alive in Westport, and I'm going to turn it over to one of the members of the band. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for coming out tonight to the Levitt to celebrate the men and women of Westport's Emergency Medical Services, better known as EMS. My name is Bob Wvems, a physician in Westport and a member of the almost all-physician rock and roll band D.N.R. The Levitt First Responder Performance started over 15 years ago to recognize the contributions of first responders after 9/11, but I think this really was highlighted during the COVID pandemic and really what EMS meant to this community. We are grateful for their tireless and selfless efforts. They are the real heroes, and they're not from the Marvel Universe. They don't carry Thor's hammer, but they do wear EMT uniforms and stethoscopes, and they're available to us 24/7 during our times of need. We are lucky to have such a committed and valuable organization. Please join me in a round of applause to acknowledge the men and women of our own EMS. As always, on the way of the Levitt, tonight's performance is free, but it would be great if you considered contributing something to EMS. Uniquely, they are almost totally funded by private donations, not by tax dollars. There are crew members at multiple tables, one at each entrance and one in the front, and they are ready to accept your donations after the performance. The members of D.N.R are really thrilled to play our part in helping EMS. So let's pump up the volume and play some rock and roll.